And when you found out you were being the Shero of the month of May, how was your reaction?
I was excited, uh, kind of shocked because I don't think that I do near enough. You know, there's so much work to be done, you know. So, but I was really excited about it, and you know, just kind of overwhelming.
I'm
Yeah.
happy to be able to interview you as a former Shero of the month.
Okay.
Um, I had a similar reaction. Me? Are you sure it's
Yeah,
me?
me. What did I? You know.
Yeah, yeah. Um, what got you started in doing advocacy work?
Actually, it was seeing other people do the work. I lived in silence for a long time, almost 12 years. I'm from rural Alabama, where nobody talks about it. Everybody that I know living with HIV, they move in silence. So after moving to one of the larger metropolitan areas, I connected with some of my peers. My mentor, she actually they formed a meeting, and I joined the meeting, and that's where it actually started. I had no idea what I was doing or what I was getting into. I had never heard. It was in 2018, and I had never heard of PWN before.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
it's been a slow process because of stigma and shame. You know, I moved back to my hometown, which I think that was God. He ushered me back for a purpose. You know, where the work really needs to be done. So sometimes it's hard, it's difficult, but you know, I stay in the press. I just keep
Yeah, you're a Shero, and Sheros keep doing it no matter how difficult it is, because you see how necessary it is. And when
going.
you
Yeah.
connect it to your higher power, then you have somebody that's always got your back and giving you little peeps in your ear of what you can do next or say next. And
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
how long have you been with PWN Alabama?
Uh, the group actually started in 2018.
Okay.
We had a meeting. You know, it was just a few of us. Well, it's still just a few of us who are really active, but we got together and learned, and then we embarked in uh, get out the vote, vote positive.
Oh,
That same year, yes, ma'am. So we actually hit the ground running.
that's a very lofty engagement. I'm sure you did the uh, help people register to vote and
Yes.
give them tools to be an informed voter.
One thing that I found that was very troubling to me, and it was something that I didn't actually know either at that time. A lot of people in the state that did not lose their right to vote, but they think they do because they had spent time in prison. We did some education around that, and
Good for
yeah, it
you.
was just an awesome experience. Yeah, we have seen some legislation come through the state of Alabama that was troubling, you know. Yeah, but thanks to our policy team, you know, they keep us well informed on that. And
That
sometimes the
is
language
beautiful.
is hard. The language is hard to understand, and they try to push things through when it seems like nobody's looking, nobody's paying attention.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah. So
As Black women, when we know something is happening and not right, we are quick to jump on board to push back and to do
yes,
the education.
yes, but there are still so many people who they truly believe that we can't do anything about. We can't make the changes, you know. And I have seen this happen through the PWN, you know, not only from the days of our for parents, in the 50s and 60s, the way that they band together and activated, for civil rights. I see PWN in action. And this is probably the best thing that I have ever done in my life was to get involved with PWN. It has really made a difference.
Well, that is absolutely fantastic. Now, as a member of Alabama's PWN chapter, what is one thing that you yourself or the whole chapter accomplished that you are most proud of?
I think that it was the reproductive justice training that we had, and getting out and educating people about the intersectionality of reproductive justice, which was a phrase that, I knew that this was happening in my world, but I didn't have a name for it. Why people of color and people with low income always live like across the railroad tracks. That's the way we put it. We live across the tracks. And the healthcare sucks, and the intersectionality of all of these issues or reproductive justice issues.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There are no, in my mind, there are no single issues. They're all issues intersect at some point.
We've been gaining seats at the table, at least attempting to. The powers that be, they have fought against it. I was in a meeting one time. It was West Alabama HIV prevention meeting for several counties and entities in the state. And I was in there talking about some of the issues, some of the things that were going on with PWN, some of the meetings that they could attend to learn more. Because a lot of the people, I don't think there might have been, out of 20 people, there might have been 2 of us actually living with HIV in that meeting. And somebody asked me, "Who are you?" And why are you here? She just straight out asked me as if I didn't have a right to be in that meeting.
And what was your response?
I told her I was from PWN. And I explained to her what that was. I disclosed at that time, which was sometimes it's difficult to do, but I was letting her know that I had a right to be at the table.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm so happy that you stand up for yourself and your sisterhood of PWNers and continue the work. I understand that you are the outreach coordinator
I
for
am.
PWN Alabama. Can you explain what you do as an outreach coordinator?
As an outreach coordinator, I stay engaged with community events, getting out information, also looking for new members and allies. Half of the battle is just the educational piece of it, especially in my area, um, because so many people, they are really uneducated when it comes to HIV, and that there's hope. Um, some of the other things we do is we've been embarking upon our legislative session is conveying, which it should be over soon, but we've been writing letters to them, trying to expand healthcare in Alabama. We're also looking into some anti-trans bills that are coming through, and it's just horrible the way that people are acting, when everybody, they deserves the right to be who they are.
Exactly.
Everybody deserves the right. I have family members that belong to the LGBTQ community,
Mhm.
you know, which really made a difference in my life. Getting to, and they were afraid to tell me because uh, of my so-called religion, you know, which was really troubling to me. You know, my own family members didn't want to talk about it, but now they see me doing the work. They're more open, and sometimes they have attended meetings with me.
The reason I asked you about outreach coordinator is because I would like to have a PWN chapter here in Maryland. And I wanted to know some of your secrets to recruitment.
Just like I said, getting the information out there, hosting events. Like I say, the stigma is very high here, and people they disclose at their own pace, their own choice. You know, there's
Mhm.
different ways to be active, and that's one thing that people don't understand. That you don't have to disclose to be an
Right,
active member.
exactly,
Yes.
exactly. Because you just are uh, a vessel of education. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean you have to tell them, oh, by the way, I'm HIV positive. That's how I know. When people can realize that they don't have to disclose to be active, that makes a huge difference in recruiting someone.
It really does. And I myself, I depend on a lot of allies because I'm in Northwest Alabama, you know. So I depend upon allies. You know, I talk to people. Um, most of my people are in the faith-based community that I talk to here in the county where I live.
Mhm.
Um,
And how is that going?
it's going well. It's going well. These are my friends, some of my other support groups. Not only do I have 21 years of lived experience, I also suffer with some mental health issues, mainly major depression, anxiety, uh, substance misuse disorder. And these intersections of all of these people that I'm in groups with, they love on me and they support me in what I'm doing. Now,
And they
granted,
should.
everybody is extremely busy, so sometimes it's a little difficult to uh, to get them engaged in what I'm doing, you know. But I let them know that it can happen to anybody, and you probably do know somebody. They're just afraid to confide in you, you
Yes,
know,
yes,
afraid
yes,
of
yes.
what you're going to say or how you're going to treat them, you know. But at this point in my life, you know, it's time for somebody to say something
Yeah.
because I see people dying. People are literally dying in silence.
It's not just in the rural areas or the deep south. There are people literally everywhere who live with HIV who are afraid to disclose for the fear of being pushed aside, rejected, judged. And I am
That is
so
true.
happy that you were selected to be Shero of the month. You are a bright and shining star in the PWN universe.
Oh my goodness, you're
Um,
making me blush. You know, and I used to say, why me? But why not me?
why not? Why
Why
not?
not?
I mean,
You know,
that is
I'm on this path for a reason. Let me tell you an
absolutely.
interesting fact. I did not take the medication, any kind of antiretrovirals for about 17 years because I trusted God to heal me. Um, as far as healing goes, He eventually healed my mind enough to realize that this is the path that He wanted me on because He kept me during that time
Yes.
when I saw so many people fall by the wayside. You know, I would go to clinics. My numbers they stayed relatively well during that time, and I saw other people decline so quickly in the area. You know, right? Some people right from my hometown, but we never had a chance to connect at that time. And that's probably one of my greatest regrets, is walking in the clinic and seeing them being wheeled in wheelchairs. My significant other, he refused care, and they actually took him to uh, one of the ASOs on a stretcher, living in fear and shame. So I see these things, and after his passing, I got a chance to connect, but I didn't know anybody until anybody else actually admitting that they were living with HIV until after his passing, and I moved to one of the metropolitan area here in the state. So it has been quite a journey.
Oh, I can tell. But your life journey is worth telling and worth sharing across the PWN universe and beyond.
I am also involved doing some outreach with an organization called Hometown Organizing Project. I'm on their climate team. I was handpicked when they saw me back in 2020 engaging with the Get Out the Vote effort,
Oh,
Vote Positive. And so,
good.
and we
Good.
do a lot, had it not been for PWN, I would not be in that space either, because the same thing that I'm doing with PWN is just unfolding in this organization too. We do disaster recovery, community resilience.
So, is there anything else you want people to know about you?
Well, I wear many t-shirts, different support groups, but one crown. That's it.
Oh,
Well, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Had it not been like for women like you in the forefront, women that I have admired from afar and some close up, I would not be in this space.
yes, yes.
Yes, I would still be moving in silence.
Wow. And your life is richer now that you're not living in silence.
It really is. I am truly honored to have been considered. I'm truly honored.
And I'm going to give you the Shero of the month of May.
Wow. Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're my sister queen, and
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to know, if nobody has told you today, that I love you and that
Oh,
you and your voice matter.